In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix.
They at long last issued a public invitation or a challenge. I'm not sure what it is, but I accept.
Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications. Anytime I go live, I make a video. Make sure you download Freedom Chat. And also, if you want to message me any questions, Brandon@freedomchat.com. Brandon@freedomchat.com. Let's get into this. So Candace Owens, now let me just say this. I'm gonna stay out of this. I'm just reporting on the news. I'm not saying nothing on no side. And the reason that I'm gonna stay out of this because Turning Point has responded. I mean, I think that's a response. Candace Owens have kicked back and she's smiling from ear to ear, grinning, saying, come on, I'll come on the show. Now, they can defend themselves. I don't need to defend Candace's arguments. I don't need to really talk about her arguments. I don't need to defend Turning Point USA. I don't see Tucker Carlson defending Turning Point USA. I don't see none of these other people defend. I don't need to defend them. They are going to have an opportunity to defend themselves in front of the world. Now, y'all know how I feel about the whole thing. I can say it right here, and to me, it's nothing. Charlie Kirk was killed by Tyler Robinson, a deranged nut job, and the FBI got so much investigation or so much information or evidence that it's a cut and dry case. This is an open and shut case. Now, only people who are either deranged, influenced by money, bumped their head when they woke up, somehow think it's some mysterious plot that Turning Point USA was involved in this. I mean, just put your thinking cap on for 1 minute. Do you really think Andrew wanted Charlie Kirk dead? Why would he want Charlie Kirk dead? His job is over. Where's Andrew going to do now? Everything in Turning Point USA, all those people that people have accused of having something to do with his death, they have no career outside of Charlie Kirk. He was everything to Turning Point. As you can tell, he was holding everything together. And they want him to die so they what? They get exposed and get in trouble and have no career, no podcast. You guys be crazy to think somebody. And what time do people have to coordinate that kind of stuff? Everybody that I know that work for Turning Point, they love Charlie Kirk. I love Charlie. Everybody loves Charlie. Ain't nobody trying to get him killed except these crazy lefties.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Angel Tree campaign is back every year. And you guys know, if you follow me, we do this every year. We help thousands of kids get a Christmas present for Christmas. Children whose parents are incarcerated, they have a chance to get a Bible and a special gift, and it means the world to them. And I want you to know about Yvette real quick, because I got to tell you these stories. They are absolutely tremendous. Some of you guys have been a part of this. And Yvette, her dad was incarcerated. Her mom was hooked on drugs. She was a drug addict, and she bounced around from home to home. As you know, when you're in the system with her brother, she struggled to adjust to different homes that they went to. She was in school. She got into gang activity. She was in the gang doing all of the stuff that normal kids do when they don't have parental guidance. But then she found Christ. And then she started going to church. And when she see the families in church, she started desiring that stability that you can get in church. And she was shocked at how much love and grace that adults at the church would show her. And one day she got a Raggedy Ann doll from her father, who was incarcerated, from Angel Tree. And it just changed everything. She can't go without having that doll with her. And it made her feel like she was remembered and loved by her dad, who was incarcerated. And now, being with the church and the love that they showed her, she's now a leader at the church. She now inspired young people to follow their passion, to follow their dreams, and to believe in Christ. And I want you guys to help me this year. We got to blow it out of the water. I ain't gonna lie, Mike Gallagher do more than I do every year. We got to beat him this year, all right? We're going to help so many kids. It's going to be so much of a blessing. Go to angeltree.org/Tatum. That's angeltree.org/Tatum, or you can get the link in the description section. Let's get it.
Now, Turning Point USA is going to have their time. And I hope to God, if they're listening to me, Turning Point USA, if y'all listen to me, I know I could call some people, but y'all may watch this show. You cannot screw this up. If Candace Owens says yes, and she really go on your show, you need to get somebody to actually debate her. Don't get nobody that don't work for Turning Point. Don't get nobody that work for Turning Point that's the third or fourth man on the totem pole. If you're gonna bring the big dog into your house, the one that got the #1 podcast, the one that's been throwing shade at y'all direction since Charlie Kirk before he was buried, you better get somebody that's qualified that worked for Turning Point USA to have a real conversation with receipts. Y'all got 35 people in there working. Y'all could be looking at everything she said on her podcast since day one, and you got to have a clip ready, stats ready, debunkable. If you don't, this will be the end. I'm telling you right now, some people think that if a person is saying something, just avoid it. Charlie Kirk used to do that. Just avoid these people. That means avoid the little peons. You can't avoid the person at the top of the mountain. You gotta knock the bully off the top of the mountain if that's your priority. King David had to knock Goliath off. It was no talking and negotiating and trying to avoid him. And so if you think that she's wrong, if that's y'all's take, then you better be very qualified after challenging her to come on your show. Because right, wrong, or indifferent, Candace Owens sound right. Relatively speaking, she sound wrong to me in a lot of stuff, but she sound right to her audience and to probably a majority of America that's listening to her. So please don't come half-stepping and think that you're going to put somebody that was a third man on your show up to debate Candace Owens on stuff. It's not going to go well. But let me play a clip real quick, just in case you guys are unaware that you're sleeping under a rock and you ain't never heard about this. Let's go to the short clip of Turning Point's response inviting Candace Owens to a conversation. Candace Owens took this as a debate. Roll the clip.
Mentioned several times that the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court. Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie. We feel a deep responsibility to protect his legacy, his work, and the truth. I feel that. I owe Charlie everything in my life. I feel it immensely. And that is why we feel compelled to speak clearly and openly now. We'll have more on this in the near future.
If I could change the world, do some time warping, I wish y'all had done this 2 months ago. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. I'll see you at AmpFest. I wish y'all had done this 2 months ago. Because the position that is putting Turning Point in is the first time that Turning Point is addressing this, they're addressing it with a guy that nobody knows who he is. He is not the executive producer. He's not the COO. He's not the CEO. I haven't heard of this guy. I ain't never heard of this guy. But, I guess he was on Charlie's show, and Charlie respect him a lot. He seemed like a smart guy. But y'all gonna have to get like Tyler, somebody who went with Turning Point from the very beginning, who has been accused. I'll tell y'all this, I'm gonna give you some advice. And I'm not trying to be biased. It kind of sounds biased right now. But get everybody that's been accused to join in on that conversation. Mikey. Now I'm gonna leave Eric out of it because if I had my wishes, if something happened to me when I die, my wife ain't working. She's not gonna be CEO. She'll nothing. She'll be telling y'all what to do from the couch with bow in her hand. She's not gonna be up in no studio listening to nobody. She's not gonna be dealing with y'all. And to be honest, my wife, I would have to somebody need to take her Instagram down because my wife would be probably cussing and acting a fool. Somebody say something crazy about me. But I think we can exclude Erica from this because I love Charlie and I want to protect his wife. Leave her out of this. She don't need to be talking to nobody. She don't need to be trying to explain herself to nobody. Y'all can go to you know where If you're going to try to put her in the middle of this, her husband died, she got these babies to take care of, leave her out of it. But for everybody else, everybody that was accused, Turek, Mikey, Andrew, not Terrell, he's a video guy, but some of these other people that's been accused, not Mikey, Rob McCoy, I would like to see everybody on the panel to address these issues. Nobody's escaping. Nobody's hiding somewhere where it appears that somebody's hiding. Everybody's out in the open. And then if Candace shows up, it'll be Candace having to explain or prove her point against all of these people that she said did X, Y, Z.
All right, you guys, it's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. After yesterday's episode where we went kind of for the jugular with Turning Point USA, because really I think everybody in the entire world has had enough with the non-response, trying to move on, trying to gaslight us on answering basic details. So we just went for it. And guess what? Turning Point has moved to formally respond to all of the things that we have said. And after a very long diatribe in which they wildly misrepresent the public and global investigation of Charlie Kirk's assassination, they at long last issued a public invitation or a challenge. I'm not sure what it is, but I accept, okay? Quite literally, all we have ever asked for were sensible answers to our basic questions about what transpired on September 10th. And it looks like we're going to get those things. So major, major win. I am excited.
I would like to see everybody on the panel to address these issues. Nobody's escaping. Nobody's hiding somewhere where it appears that somebody's hiding. Everybody's out in the open. And then if Candace shows up, it'll be Candace having to explain or prove her point against all of these people that she said did X, Y, Z. That's if you don't do that, it's going to be hard for people like me and others who love Turning Point USA to try to keep defending it. Because the fact that Andrew, and I know Andrew may be traveling or something, but I wish that they would have waited to Andrew to get back on the show because he was the executive producer. He is the spokesperson of Turning Point USA. He the man on the show that Charlie is down. And so I would have liked to hear these things come from him. It has more gravity, it has more weight, instead of a guy who, I don't even know what his involvement with Turning Point other than being on that show. But there needs to be a panel of people to discuss this, because if Candace don't show up, it would be good for people that love Turning Point to hear your side of it, to hear Mikey McCoy, to hear Rob McCoy explain through some of these conspiracies that are out there. Some of the security guys, I know that they probably let go of the contractor team, but the head of security, they're still there. Speak to some of the things. And then when you guys do that, the world has a decision to make, because now they've heard the truth. And then, or from your perspective, which I believe has got to be the truth. I believe what Turning Point is saying a little bit more. And then they can make a decision from there.
Howie Mandel here. You wake up tired, you crash by noon, then can't sleep at night. Sound familiar? I think we can all relate. Shinergy Day gives you clean, lasting energy. No crash, no jitters, no nonsense. It's perfect for those long work days, intense workouts, or just trying to keep up with the kids. Shinergy Night helps you shut it all down. No melatonin fog, just real, restful sleep. If your mind won't stop and your body can't keep up, Shinergy is here to help. Use code Howie20 at ShinergyLife.com.
But the thing that you don't want to do, and this is not just for Turning Point, it's for anybody that's ever going to combat lies. You cannot just let the fire burn. My dad, retired firefighter, 40-some years. I think of my dad every time I think of him fighting fires when we were growing up. If you got a fire on just say it was a box on fire in the middle of the street, you can let that burn out. When your house is on fire, you might need to let the fire department put the fire out, because it's going to go out one of two ways. The firefighters will come professionally, put the fire out, make sure there's no embers that can start a fire up again, or you let the fire burn until it burns out. The professionals putting the fire out nips it in the bud. You letting it burn till it burn out, your house is gone. And then it's gonna burn down 3, 4 other houses on the street. I think it's still there. And then it's gonna burn down 3 or 4 houses on the same street. And then it's gonna be ashes. The fire is out, but there's ashes and nothing is left. And so I just want to say this because I love Turning Point USA. I love Charlie, and I have always been committed to fighting for what's right. I think Turning Point is doing the right thing. I will fight to no end to have Charlie's legacy continue because I think he was a good man. Charlie was my family member. Charlie was my brother in the flesh, my brother in Christ. But my goodness, man, I used to talk to Charlie face to face. And I said, whatever you need, I got your back. And I knew Charlie knew that he could trust me. That's why he would have me speak all around the country when he couldn't do stuff. Brandon, can you go speak? He had me tour campus 2 years in a row. It was me and him on campus 2 years in a row. Why? Because he trusts me. And so when the man dies, he should be able to trust me that after he's dead. He should be able to trust that B. Tatum looked me in my face and said that he support me and that he got my back. And that means I got his back, and that means I got his wife's back. And that means that his legacy, I got his legacy's back. Or you guys should tune out, listen to me, because I'm fake. Anybody that ever said that they love Charlie and they're willing to destroy him, destroy his reputation, I don't think they really loved him. There's a difference between loving the idea of being friends with Charlie or loving the idea of what Charlie represented versus saying, bro, I got your back. And this will be a tell sign, and I'm going to get off here. But when I die, because everybody's going to die at some point, hopefully I die when I'm old. But when I die, I would love to be looking down from heaven and saying, I knew he would have my back when I died. I knew they'll hold down the fort. I knew when they said to me in person, and I gave them my word, that they gave me their word, that they were going to fulfill the promises that I had on earth. I knew I could trust in them. I looked down and smiled at them. Versus looking down and watch people tear my whole stuff up. Stuff that I built all these years and put my life on the line and died over, watching them tear it all down. And so that's the last thing I'm going to say about that.